Hello there, welcome to another episode of the Allotment Dram. This is a series of short videos where we sit and talk about different whiskies in the surroundings of our North London allotment. And you join me today on a lovely but very cold afternoon. You know, the sun's just trying to sort of poke out from the clouds. It's 2 degrees, possibly 3 if I'm lucky. But you know, lovely actually, very fresh and just great to sort of be out in this sort of weather. It's also not stopped me getting on with jobs, just digging over a bed and planting some bulbs and wildflowers for a bit of a sort of natural wildlife area that we're preparing right at the front of the plot. So very much looking forward to seeing how that develops sort of over the spring and into the summer. And also picked another cabbage, you know, very pleased with these. This is the third one so far, and the first two have been absolutely delicious, you know, really crisp, crunchy Savoy cabbage. So, you know, very much looking forward to that one again. But of course I am here to talk about whiskey, and what is the allotment dram today, I hear you ask? Well, we're going Irish today with the Samuel Gelston's single pot still, and yeah, this is a relatively new addition to the Samuel Gelston's range. It's a range owned by Harewood Artisanal Spirits. And what can I tell you? Well, Samuel Gelston is a name from way back in the Irish whiskey industry. He was a wine and spirit merchant and opened a shop actually in Corporation Street in Belfast in 1830. And you know, he really started, you know, as many of the sort of Scottish blends sort of came out of these sort of grocery wine and spirit type shops. So he started putting together his own whiskies and eventually sold it to a gentleman called Harry J. Neal. And this is where it brings the story sort of up to date, because Harry J. Neal, he took over, he helped to really grow the brand and the popularity and the distribution sort of around as well. But as with many Irish whiskey brands, it fell on hard times. You know, a whole series of events, you know, including things like Prohibition in America, really killed off a lot of Irish brands, and Samuel Gelston's was no example, no exception really. But fifth generation of the Neal family, Johnny Neal, has revived the brand, and now it has, you know, quite a nice sort of core range with some single malts. There's a blended Irish whiskey in there as well, and this single pot still whiskey. So what is single pot still? You know, some of you will know, but I guess some of you won't. I mean, I certainly didn't know until I got quite deep into sort of discovering Irish whiskey. Single pot still is basically a spirit that's made from a mix of malted barley, so as you would get in single malt, and unmalted barley. So they mix the two together and then produce the spirit. So that's single pot still, and it really came about sort of you know, in difficult times in the Irish whiskey industry, because there was quite a high tax on, or very high tax on, malted barley. So people got around that by using some malted barley but adding in the unmalted barley too. So now it's, you know, it's a very well loved category. There's a number of brands that do single pot still out there. So, you know, it's great to see Samuel Gelston's, this revived brand, putting one out as well. So I think without further ado, we should have a try. This is bottled at 40%, and is also a very good price. You know, if you've never tried a single pot still whiskey before, then this could be, you know, really good one to try, because it's about £22 most places. It seems amazing price actually, but yeah, so maybe £25 at the max. There we go, there's a good sound. So we'll just get the glass here. There we are. Just pop the lid back on there. Excellent. Well, look at that. You've got a lovely sort of lemon yellow colour there. Very pale, but quite vibrant, you know, lovely and bright, so crisp. You know, so actually steaming up the glass as well. That's how cold it is here. But let's have a smell. Yeah, it's got this lovely sort of fresh, vibrant quality to it. It's very, very uplifting. There's immediately some honey and vanilla, bit of sort of zest, lemon zest, but also some green apple, and yeah, just underneath you have to sniff a bit, and it's a bit of a cold day, so it can sometimes inhibit the whiskey, but so let's warm it up a tiny bit. But just underneath you've got this sort of grainy, slightly earthy quality as well. Yeah, really enticing actually, really, really promising. Let's have a taste. Wow, it really translates that onto the palate. It's so crisp, vibrant, refreshing. Got that sweetness, that sort of honey, vanilla. There's a bit of almost like creamed coconut in there as well. And yeah, very, very, yeah, it starts off quite, as I said, vibrant, punchy. There's a little bit of white pepper or something like that in there as well. But then it sort of, as it sort of mixes with the saliva in your mouth, it really becomes, you know, much creamier, softer. There's a little bit of almost like a peach, maybe like tinned peach or something like that in there as well. Yeah, very, very good. Let's have another taste. We definitely need another taste, I think. Yeah, then there's this another layer of sort of this green apple, and then this sort of earthy, slightly bittersweet cereal note just right underneath. But again, this sort of lemon, zesty, just sort of lifts everything. You know, it's very bright, you know, physically in its colour, but also very bright on the palate as well. So yeah, absolutely great. If you've never tried a single pot still whiskey before, as I say, this is like £22-23, something like that for this Samuel Gelston. It's absolutely delicious. So yeah, what a find. You know, great, lovely that we've got a bottle of that. Very, very good addition to our collection, I think. So I think without further ado, I'll bid you farewell from myself and the Samuel Gelston single pot still. We'll say goodbye, get on with a few more jobs on this lovely wintry afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.